Yeah.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Not 56, 53. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Go back up in the verse 50, 54. Do 54. Verse 54. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
Yes, sir.
his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall lead.
See, his eyes shall be tender amongst his family. And I want y'all to pay close attention to this right here. This man right here, Douglas, Georgia. A black man kills his family over child support and a tax refund. Killed his family and killed himself. Because he got mad because he wasn't able to get off child support and he wasn't able to get the tax refund. So you know what he did? He went and killed it. Everybody in the household, including himself. This just happened about what, 2 weeks ago?
What?
Yeah. In Douglas, Georgia, about 2 weeks ago. Go ahead. Verse 55.
So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
Yes, sir.
Because he has nothing left in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
See, when the enemy distress thee and all like that, when they put the child support on these men barely make it. It's distressing them. That's why you got to be careful, men, where you go and have children from. You better have children by your wife, and you better intend on staying with them forever till y'all die. Because it's hard trying to go and take care of another household and take care of your own household. It's hard. And they're going to distress you in all these gates. Put you on probation, all these gates. Child support, all these gates. The gates of who? The Gentile. Go ahead, brother.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter.
This is the independent woman who don't need a man, but her household is out of control. God built this thing for two people, a husband and a wife, to deal with these kids and your finances, your bills. It's supposed to work as a unit together. When you go off course and say, I don't need nobody, and you got these kids, you throw the whole dynamic of the family off. These are the ones that are always talking about they're independent. They don't need no man. And this is what happened. Go ahead.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear.
Yes, sir.
For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates.
See, this is another lady who, we forgot her name, but a child abuse where she neglects. She tried to throw her kid over the balcony. Like he said here, he said, and toward her young ones that cometh out between her feet. That means her children that she had. And toward the children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly. A lot of these women today say, well, I had these children, I ain't got no life. It's all about these kids now. I ain't got no life, I wish they were gone. And some of them go and kill them. Just so they can get their life back. I can't get a man because I got all these kids in the household. Go kill them. These are the curses that follow us. And it's more, like I said, it's just more gruesome stuff that you can see on the internet and hear on the news. It only lines up with us, y'all. It only lines up with us. Go ahead, bro.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God. Then the Lord,
go ahead, bro.
Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore weakness, and of long continuance. abundance.
He telling he gonna make this thing long. What? All this stuff that happened, we at the top of the chain on every disease list. Israel, cancer, HIV, all this stuff stems, all this stuff affects us the most because we got a certain law. Diabetes, all these little cancer, all this stuff happened to us. Israel, it affects us the most. Go ahead, bro.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the disease of Egypt, which thou was afraid of.
Yes, sir.
And they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee, until thou be destroyed.
He bring it up on until we be destroyed. So many people die of diabetes, heart attacks, all this stuff that affects us the most. I see some other nations, they can drink coffee all day, they can eat sugar all day, drink a soda all day, won't let them happen. But time we start doing that, what happens? We get diabetes. Time we start going out there just doing whatever we want to do, some type of disease come upon us, cancer. It affects us the most. Go look at the statistics. Black men and women at the top of the charts on all these statistics of diseases. Go ahead, brother. Let's look at some more curses.
62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
He said, the Lord shall rejoice over you to destroy you. So we understand who's doing this to us. The Lord. It's not the white man. It's the Lord. He telling them to do this to you.
Right.
So understand that this is our punishment. He going to carry out. He said, you shall be plucked off the land of where? Israel. This is when the transatlantic slave trade started. He said between the 1650s and the 1860s, approximately 10 to 15 million enslaved people were transported from the Western Africa to America. Most were shipped to the West Indies and Central America and South America. This is the transatlantic slave trade. This is where they came to Israel to get us. Remember we read in Babylon 10:2, we ran into Africa trying to escape the persecution, hide amongst Africa. They came, nobody came and got us. And they shipped us all over the world. And you see all of them. All over the world. This is documented history, man. It only happened in one nation. That's us. But these preachers ain't telling y'all about it. They're telling you be blessed. Just read that first 10 or 15 verses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Y'all go to these verses right here and try to line them up. This is what we try to do, line them up. But go ahead, brother.
64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods,
Yes, sir.
which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Go ahead.
And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Yes, sir.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
He said, upon these nations you shall find no ease. What nation? The KKK. When we came over here to the nation, believe me, it was terror from the beginning of the day to the end of the night. We ain't find no ease at all. And some of that same stuff is still going on today. They just got uniforms on. That's all it is. Got police uniforms on. We ain't find no ease at none of this. Around none of these people. Why? Because we still bring God's law and He letting these people persecute you left and right. Go ahead, brother.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life.
No assurance. Go ahead.
In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even.
Yes, sir.
And in evening thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
Understand that when our people was enslaved, believe me, when the white folk call themselves gonna have a good time or burning some bomb, shooting for the 4th of July, like we shoot now, slaves in their quarter fearing them, fearing. Why? Because when they start to go want to have fun, guess who they get for entertainment? Let's go ahead and get one of these black men or black women, let's have some fun with them, persecute them. That's why he said we should not have no ease. Our eyes faint. Because we scared. We groping from the beginning of the morning to the night. They coming at us left and right. You don't love that man coming out there to get your little daughter. Master, he like him young. He come and get a little girl 10, 11 years old and start having sex with her early. Call her his bed wench. Understand history now. And believe me, it's going to go back to that. It's going to go back to that. You're the reason Zechariah. This nation that God gonna put upon us gonna do even worse than what these people did. Worse. That's why it's so important for us to know where to be at the right time. Like I told y'all, I'll tell you one time, Jeff gone. I know what's coming upon this earth right here at the particular that time of the day of the Lord. When them trumpets start blowing. I know. Well, go ahead, brother.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Understand this. You talking about Egypt, but he ain't talking about the land Egypt. He talking about the condition.
Right.
Egypt, Africa, and Israel closely connected. But he don't even need a ship to go to Africa to Israel or back and forth. He talking about a condition, which is slavery. And he sent these ships to get who? Our people. Go ahead. Listen what he say here.
Thou shalt seek it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you.
How they come and get us? They sold us. They stepped us up just like this in cargo slave ships and brought us over here. You know how long some of them journeys took from come from over there in Africa or Israel to the Americas? Sometimes it take a month or two. And sometimes they would die in the cargoes. Everybody inside the cargo slave ship would die. Can you imagine being stacked up like that and you got to go to the bathroom? Yeah. All on you. The one on top, he all right, but the ones at the bottom, they get it all. This is what your people went through. Excuse me. Our people went through. That's it on that, bro? Let's look at another identifying curse. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 21. I want to nail this home, y'all. It don't match nobody but the so-called Negroes all over the world. Us. Isaiah 42, we're going to start at verse 21. Now this is real history. You learn about your people and how they messed up so you won't make those same mistakes. This is why they're killing us in the street now. This is why they persecute us today. The same stuff they did to us back then, they're doing it now. If you feel ease in this world, you must be going along with these people. Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 21. Let's look at another identifying curse of Israel. Go ahead, brother.
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake.
Yes, sir.
He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Understand that he magnified his law. How? Through the curses. He said, Moses, give these people, Israel, my law. I will bless them if they follow. Also, Moses tell them I will curse them if they don't follow. How did he magnify his law? He put the curse on us. Magnify. Go ahead, brother. This is another identifying site you can find in the Bible about where is Israel. Go ahead.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey.
Yes, sir.
None delivered for spoil, and none said restore.
What he said? They're hid where? In prison house. Who who's the most populated in jail today? Us, our people. He ain't there. It's Israel. And I got some statistics up here too. They're trying to let you see that this is identifying scripture. He said about his people are hid in prison houses. This is the incarceration rate from between 1960 and 2010. Look at it, blacks, whites, Hispanics. Like I said, the population about, I think it's every per 100,000. In 2010, it's like per 100,000, 4,347 blacks in South Korea versus whites, 678. Back in 1960, same thing. 313 blacks versus whites, 262. This is a statistic to let you know that this is God's people who are hidden in prison houses. He put these scriptures in here so you can figure it out. Who hidden in prison houses? Israel, black people. Go ahead, who did it to us? Verse 23.
Who among you would give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
He tell you, who you gonna listen? You gonna listen and take this on and teach it to your kids, teach it to whoever want to hear, especially Israel. Go ahead.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
And Israel to the robbers.
That's the same people, Jacob and Israel, the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Did not the Lord?
The Lord did this. So stop blaming the white man. He did this. Go ahead.
He against whom we have sinned. For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law.
That's the thing. They won't walk in his ways or obedient to his law. What he did to them? He put them in the prisons. This is why we being cursed 7 times more than all the other nations. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore, he has poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
See, that's the thing about it. I'm trying to tell y'all, ain't nobody knows what. You want to find out why these people persecuting us, why these people killing us. They don't wonder why. He said, therefore, he had poured upon the fear of his anger, which is the Lord, and strengthened of battle. It had set him on fire round about, yet he knoweth not. It burned him, yet he laid not to heart. He didn't even thought about it. Why is this happening to us? Why? All they can say is the white man, the white man, the white man, the Muslim, the white man, all this, the white man. No, the Lord is the man who did this. And he believed he used whoever he want to use. He used Nebuchadnezzar to put us in captivity, and also he used Willie Lynch to do it too. That's why I read y'all that from the Willie Lynch letter. Let's look at another one. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 51 and start verse 20. Y'all should see this one right here. Like I said, we identify God's people by the curses. By the curses. We identify them. We showing you through the scriptures. Those people over there in Israel, they cannot line up with this. They don't. Verse 20. Isaiah chapter 51, verse 20. Go ahead.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net.
Who on the street? Who on the corner in the summertime? Who's standing out there in front of the gas station? Who out there standing there doing everything on the corners? Israel. They wild. I used to tell my wife, you see anybody go to a gas station, you go anywhere, you find a bunch of us outside there, go to the next gas station. Don't even go there. They like wild bulls in the net. Somebody pop off. They're about to get crazy. Go ahead.
They are full of the fury of the Lord.
Start that over.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord,
Yes,
the
sir.
rebuke of thy God.
They full of this. Because God put this on them. He's talking about faint in the mind. I'm not saying they're going to literally faint. He's talking about you're not even thinking about the stuff you're doing. If it feels good to you, most time Israel going to do it. That's why we cannot go off our feelings. We got to know off what is right. Go ahead.
Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
He said, hear now this. Thou art afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Wine considered a doctrine or knowledge. Like I said, somebody steals something from you, mom and daddy tell you, go back and steal it from them. That's their doctrine. That's not God's doctrine. Somebody hit you in the mouth, you go back and hit somebody else in the mouth. You can't do that, man. I'm not telling you not to protect yourself, but it's a way you handle situations so you won't get yourself in trouble. And Israel handled the situation totally wrong, out of proportion. Everything we do is over the top. Go ahead.
Thus says thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dredge of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
They ain't scared of God. He said, I take it out of the cup of trembling. They're not scared of him. You tell the kid, all right, now God gonna get you if you don't obey me. You're like, whatever. Tell him, all right, God, Santa Claus ain't gonna bring you nothing. Oh, don't, Santa Claus ain't gonna bring you nothing. He more fear of Santa Claus than God. I'd say he's taking the fear out of it. You can talk to some of these young brothers till you blue in the face. They gonna do what they want to do. Say, Lord, I don't like that. The only way you control these jokers, you tell them you gonna get on probation. You gonna have a probation out for 30 years, or you going to jail. That's how God controls them now. Go ahead.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over.
He put this affliction in them that you say you want to be like. He giving them the power. And you bow down to them. You bow down to the Christmas. You bow down to the Sunday. You bow down to this government system today. What Satan has put out here. You ain't bow down to the word of God. This place should be filled on the Saturday. You shouldn't even have no pork in all these stores. You shouldn't even have no catfish. None of that stuff. If we are obeying God's law. So he gave you over to those nations. Gave us over to those nations. But Israel don't care. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11. We understand this, y'all. This is a very, very big book. He ain't put all these words in here for you to just say, ooh, I just love Jesus, just hold it to your heart. I just love the Lord. That's how they do. And you expect me to believe that you know what you're talking about because you can hold this Bible to your heart and say, I love it. And you sit down and eat a pork chop sandwich. You don't love nobody, you love your belly. That's all they love. They feed their stomach the wrong thing. Isaiah chapter 5, we'll start at verse 11. But they like to follow little preachers like that. They think people like us are crazy. Because we can tell you everything what thus saith the Lord by what? Reading. Only thing they can tell you is my preacher said, my pastor said, my mama said. You know, Johnny, you're preaching your pastor in the lake of fire. You keep listening to him. Go ahead, verse 11.
Woe to them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine aflameth them.
Talking about the ones getting drunk. Rise up drinking. Go to bed drinking. Go ahead.
And the harp, and the viol, and tabret, and pipe, and wine are in their feasts. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hand.
They like to party. You know Israel, we like to party. Crank up a grill. Put some meat on the grill. We out there. Some music, party. He said the harp, the viol, the tabret, the pipe. We're talking about music. The wine is in their feast. They got beer, liquor, everything that you can want. Just come out here and party with us. He said, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider his operation. They ain't even thinking about why we in this condition we in. Why are we in this condition? They don't care. It's just as long as I can get what I can get for myself, period. Listen what the Lord said in verse 13. Go ahead.
Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge.
You know what? Knowledge. The only way you're going to save yourself, and me too, is having knowledge in my mind about the Lord. If you don't know nothing about God, and you get over there in the wilderness, if you make it, you start celebrating Christmas, eating this wine, he going to kill you right over there in the wilderness. And a lot of them going to be killed in the wilderness. Believe that. They're going to go over there thinking they can do the same